Now, this is a job, by the way, that pays $85,467.20 a year. I just checked that. Now, this is a huge headache for somebody. This is 146,000 people you're ultimately caring for the happiness of, Mark Holland. You're a full-time minister. Do you need those headaches?
Well, I would say it's a privilege to be in public office, and I've have the privilege the last 6 years of being on the Unified Government Board of Commissioners, and being full-time. Most of the folks on the commission have a full-time role as well as the part-time role on the commission. So this would be a change for me. It would be a change where I'd be going full-time at the city and then preaching on Sundays and turning over the rest of the responsibilities to my team at the church, because my focus would then be full-time on the city and on the whole community of Kansas City, Kansas, which would be a real honor to be able to do that.
But everybody knows who Joe Reardon is. We've got to become familiar with him.
Yes.
Why should we be picking you?
Well, I have a real excitement for our community. I'm fourth generation Wyandotte County, third generation pastor in the community. This is my hometown, and I couldn't be more proud of where we've come the last many years since unification. And so I think my qualifications of casting a vision to take us to the next level, to get our community connected to the great jobs that are coming in, the great economic development we've been able to have, and also to take that success we've had, particularly in our western area, and to continue to seed it into the rest of the community, I think is going to be vital for the next mayor moving forward.
And Muggia, a lot of people, first of all, have very little recognition of all of the people around this table. You have also spent 6 years on this commission, just like Mr. Holland has. You also have these deep roots in Wyandotte County. Why should voters pick you over Mr. Holland?
Well, I think for two primary reasons, and that's experience and results. In the last 6 years, as commissioner and executive director of ONDA, we've replaced...
Tell me what that is. Honda, you said?
The Argentine Neighborhood Development Association, the not-for-profit agency that I work for. So as the executive director of that not-for-profit and as a commissioner, we've had some truly amazing successes. Which include things like we've replaced millions of dollars worth of curb and sidewalk. We've built millions in new housing. We also, in partnership with USD 500, raised $2 million to build a $6 million library within my district. As well as on February 21st, we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony on a brand new $3.2 million grocery store. I think what I've been able to demonstrate over the past 6 years is my ability to get things done in one of the most challenging neighborhoods in the city. Now,
Nathan Barnes, in credit to you, you actually got into this race while Joe Reardon was still in it, when he was still saying he wanted to be mayor. What was your problem with what was happening with the current administration?
There wasn't really a problem with the current administration, because I've been a part of that. And I'm very pleased with the successes that we've experienced in the last years, and even with Karen Marinovich, as people go out and talk and say, hey, they had wonderful legacies. Well, I was a part of that legacy, and I appreciated being a part of each and every legacy that we've talked about, Marinovich and Joe Reardon. I feel like this is a new day, and we need a new way to do things. Wyandotte County needs to be ushered into the future, and that ushering into the future is a process of inclusion, and that's what I plan to promote.
But you say a new day, but you have been there longer than anybody else, so you are the old day, aren't you?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm the one that possessed the blueprint for how we got to where we are. And in order to go further and to discover that new day, you need to know where you came from. And I know where we come from, where we started from. When our backs were against the wall, we had to make some hard decisions, and I was able to do that. And I think that that's what we need to do right now in order to propel ourselves forward.
Now, all three of the candidates we've heard from so far have been in part of government already. Cordell Meeks, you have not. You are an outsider currently. Your occupation is president and CEO of Meeks Multicultural Consulting.
That's right.
What makes you qualified to run for mayor and be mayor of Wyandotte County?
Well, it's the business experience accompanied with the community service. So I've spent over 10 years working with corporate executives across the country, across the metro, here locally, to help them utilize the diversity within their organizations to have it work for them rather than against them. So maintaining retention, attracting businesses to the community is something I'm well aware of. And then I've spent over 20 years working in our community to improve the community. So I've served on dozens of boards. I think those two things combined have prepared me well to become the next CEO, mayor of the Unified Government of Wyandotte County.
Now, couldn't you have run, though, for a county commission seat before running for mayor, get your feet wet in that role first?
I could have, but you know, it's not necessary to have been on the commission to be mayor CEO of the unified government, nor to have a passionate vision for the future of this city.
Okay. Now, Janice, you also have never held elected office. You ran in 2011 against Mark Holland, the man sitting next to you there. You lost that race. Why do you think you'll have a better shot as mayor?
Because I accomplished my goal.
Which is what?
Wyandotte County has a long history of forgetting about the people, about hearing the voice of the actual people in the community. Everything looks great on the surface, just like a beautiful creme brulee. But once you crack that surface, there are people living underneath that don't have the same perspective of this wonderful, bright, shiny lifestyle that the people on the outside of the community think that we are living in Wyandotte County.
Give us an example of that.
Perfect example, failures. We talk about the wonderful Legends area, which is marvelous. I'm not knocking it, it is phenomenal. But what benefit does it offer to the actual citizens of the community? When it was voted on and we brought it here, when they brought it here, we were told there would be a windfall, that we would have our taxes lowered, and it was gonna be our savior. We bring it, we pay our taxes, and Legends, now bankrupt, sold, leaves us with a massive deficit after the sale. What happens to the company that bankrupted it? It's rewarded by being given the same contract again. Now, you mentioned that I had a coffee shop. I am a contractor. I owned a concrete construction company, and I'm MBE WBE. I operated with over 120 employees. And as CEO of that company, we built the Mary and Merrill Dow project that's over off Bannister, and I think it's now called